Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Thank you very much, Susan. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Josh Taylor, in tonight for Bob Pompiani. He's got some time off. Getting you set up for some Sun Bowl coverage is Rich Walsh. He's out in El Paso. Of course, it is Pitt and Stanford Sunday at 2 o'clock. You can watch that game on KDKA. In the meantime, quite a bit to get ready for, or to at least talk about today that has taken place. Of course, Penguins are just a few, maybe close to an hour ago, a few moments ago, wrapped it up with the Detroit Red Wings. They win 5-2. A couple goals from Phil Kessel, a couple goals from Derek Brassard. Pens win 4 in a row. They've won 9 of their last 12. Also, earlier today, Steelers had practice over on the south side. James Conner practices for the second day in a row. He's a full participant. That's good news. Once again, no Sean Davis, no Vince Williams. But going into Sunday, interesting to see whether or not Conner will be available for the Steelers against the Bengals. They can totally use him. Had 111 yards on the ground and a couple touchdowns in that first game in Cincy back on October 14th. Also, big announcement from the south side. Juju Smith-Schuster is the Steelers' MVP for this season. 106 catches, nearly 1,400 yards, 6 touchdowns for Juju. Another big announcement. Didn't want to leave that out. Jake Gensel gets a 5-year, $30 million extension from the Penguins. That will be effective starting next season. So quite a bit to talk about. And to help me do that in studio right now from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette joins me for the second night in a row. Gene Collier's here.
All right, Josh.
Good to talk to you again.
Glad to be with you. Thanks.
Let's start with Juju named team MVP. We talked about Joe Hayden winning the Chief Award yesterday. Yep. Juju wins the team MVP award. I know there was some immediate reaction from both some of our colleagues and from fans alike that Ben Roethlisberger was not named team MVP. Wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Well, I don't know what to say about it. I'm not close enough to the players to pretend to know what they're thinking about these kinds of things. Ben seems to me like the MVP of the team. I think there are only a handful of candidates, maybe 2 on defense, Joe Hayden and T.J. Watt, in my view, and on offense, Antonio Brown, Juju, and Ben. You know, Ben has a hard time winning this thing. He's only won it once, I believe. Mm-hmm. But I've never heard anyone in the locker room say anything bad about Ben. So it's very hard for me to speculate on why he doesn't win that award. What's your view on it?
It's weird. I have 2 different thoughts about it because, in one, and this is kind of where I stand on it, we know that this team is largely built around what Ben Roethlisberger can do and being complementary to him. I think that's pretty much universally understood. At the same time, the MVP award from season to season, it isn't about who your best guy is. It's about your best performer throughout the course of the season. So if you really want to lay out who's been the best performer throughout the course of the season, has it really been Ben? Has it been Antonio Brown? I think you can make a case for AB, and some people that are against the choice of Juju will say, well, Juju's only been successful because Antonio Brown's drawn a lot of attention, and rightfully so. But at the same time, the production has been probably more consistent over the course of the season from Juju. If you're looking at it from that perspective, as far as the year's production, Ben's tied for the league lead in touchdowns, or league lead in interceptions with Sam Darnold, a rookie for the Jets. So if you're talking about the production and whether or not the year-to-year numbers say that, maybe it isn't Ben. I think that's where you kind of divide the line. Is it about who your best guy was this year or who was your best performer throughout the season? So sometimes that's where the interpretation for most valuable player probably gets skewed, Gene.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that to an extent. You know, Ben's got to get people the ball. I mean, both those receivers are excellent in their own right. They'd be the number 1 on any other team. Right. And you're right about Juju. You know, he would not be the player he is without Antonio Brown. But, you know, when the Steelers really need some heroics, if you will, if that's the word, you know, they often turn to Ben. And, you know, he nearly won it for them in New Orleans. He has won games for them. He's had some games where he's thrown a pick or 2 and been responsible for them losing, too. Mm-hmm. But I think really, you know, if you had to subtract one person from the team, Ben would be the last guy you would subtract. Now, if that's your interpretation of MVP, then it is. And if it's not, that's okay, too. You know, if you feel like this is some kind of injustice, you know, there's plenty of injustices out there to get a lot more upset about than this. So.
I think that's what it's going to come down to. We'll talk more about this when we come back. It does come down to your interpretation of the most valuable player. Is it the best guy, or is it the guy you can't do without?
Always an issue, you know, regardless of the scope or the, you know, the forum.
Yeah, so we will discuss that when we come back. We'll take your phone calls, 412-575-2600, or the Bordas & Bordas hotline. Also reading your tweets at Josh Taylor HD. See you in a little bit.